All right, so I want to say one thing about workflow. The best thing to do is to have multiple tabs open. What I would suggest is while you're working in Google Classroom for Music that you have a tab open for Soundation, a tab open for your form, and a tab open for your Google Classroom. You see I'm creating this stuff right now, so I have a bunch of different tabs open. I've got my Google Classroom where I'm editing your post right now. I'm creating your form as I'm making this content, and I'm checking it as well. So just a little workflow tip, all right? Going back to the lesson, you are in your profile view. You have just copied and pasted your profile link into the Google form. You switch your tab back to the Soundation tab, and we're going to go to the studio. So we're going to take our mouse and go to the top left of the screen and click Studio. This will open the digital audio workstation. A digital audio workstation is a place where you can drag loops and use Midi files to create your own music. We're going to use audio loops for our first project. The first thing you see when you open is this big window with a bunch of different small boxes. The box in the middle is a template window. Keep this to show you again, but for right now we're going to ignore it, so just click the X. It says, "Welcome to the Soundation Studio." I want you to take the tour of this, but right now I'm going to show you around the studio. And then when you log into Soundation, click this Take the Tour button so you can take the tour. I'm going to close this for now. So we're looking at the digital audio workstation. This main big window is your space. It's the main workspace in the DAW. How we tell time in the digital audio workstation is up at the top, and the timeline is measured in bars or measures. To the right of that, we have a strip that shows our channels. This currently has 4 audio channels, a Midi channel, and 2 effect channels. We will talk more about Midi and effect channels later. Our focus for the first project, however, is with these audio channels. We will use loops to program in our digital audio workstation. We find loops in the sound library. You can search the sound library for any kind of instrument you want, and loops will show up, and they're all royalty-free. When you select the loop, it will play. You have this autoplay feature on, which means every time you highlight a loop, it will play for you. Once you feel like you are happy with a loop, you can drag and drop it into the audio channel. Make sure if it's your first one, you're lining up with measure 1. You'll also notice that each audio file has a certain length of time in bars. You want to be conscious of what this length of time is. In order to find more samples that go with your original sample, click this filter button in the sound library. After you do that, you'll see under it, there's an option that says sync to tempo. I recommend that you do this for all samples because now it will make any new sample the same tempo of your previously selected tempo. On the bottom, we have the transport controls, which allow you to play, stop, rewind, record, fast forward, or activate a metronome. You can also use the loop function, which comes up at the top. You can stretch it with this arrow cursor. We'll talk more about this in future lessons, but for now, just understand how to operate the sound library, drag and drop a loop, and what an audio channel is. Remember, we're focusing on audio loops for the first project.